Hello. My name is Jessie and today we're making one of my favorite meals, reversed seared pork chop with a grilled cabbage. But you wouldn't need a grill because we're gonna do it all indoor. For the ingredients you would need. Alright, before we start it, I have the oven preheating to 300 degrees so we can do the reverse searing. First thing first, we will marinate the pork and put it in the oven while we're doing the rest of the ingredients. So we would need 2 teaspoons total, but 1 teaspoon of buttery Steakhouse seasoning on each side. Make sure you're really rubbing it in. And I usually just borrow it from the friend. And then this, borrow it a little bit. And then we're gonna flip it over. Now the second teaspoon would go on the second side. We got these beautiful pork chops from our local butcher just down the street and it's so good. And they're bone-in. They would take a bit longer to cook. You're more than welcome to use boneless. I just like the bone-in. Okay, and I'm gonna use the meter to take a temperature while we're cooking. So we can, because this is bone-in, I'm gonna put the thermometer near the bone because that's the area that it takes the longest to cook. So I'm gonna put it in here. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna put this in the oven. I'm doing reverse searing, so it may take longer, but it's worth it. I'm very excited with this side dish. This whole meal literally was inspired by this head of red cabbage that we got from our CSA box. So we're gonna use some of them. But we only need not even half of this head. Okay. All right, so we will treat this cabbage like 2 pieces of steak. So I will drizzle some oil on it because this steak is very lean. And we'll flip it over. And then we're gonna drizzle this and this, okay? Now, I will use the same seasoning so the whole dinner would go well together. So again, on this side of my pan, I have 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna season this with 1 teaspoon. Now we're gonna set it aside to let it marinate. Because the pork takes time in the oven, we have a lot of time to make our side dish so good. However, I kind of cheat today. I couldn't make the balsamic vinaigrette from scratch, but since I have this bottle open in my fridge, so I decided to use it. I'm going to doctor up this dressing by adding some Dijon mustard. So this is half a cup of balsamic vinaigrette, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I like my vinaigrette to be a bit sweeter, so I'm going to add some agave in it. You don't have to if you like it a bit tangy. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of agave. Now we're just going to mix it up. Right, and just like that, we have a brand new dressing. Okay, now we would add in our cucumber, our shredded carrot, I'm making extra of the dressing because I'm going to drizzle it over the pork chop as well. And just like that, the dressing is done for the sauce. I'm going to put this in the fridge while waiting for the meat, and we'll come back when the meat is ready. We finish cooking the pork chop, and then the wedges and dinner would be ready. So right now, my app is telling me that I have another 28 minutes until it reaches to the temperature. So see you guys in 28 minutes. So we have about 5 minutes left before the meat is ready to be taken out of the oven. I have this cast iron grill. That's how we're gonna grill indoor on the stove because it takes a while to heat up the cast iron. I'm gonna start heating up the pan on now. We want the cast iron to be very hot, so we're just gonna preheat it. Okay, there's 2 minutes left on the meter. I'm gonna add oil in here to bring the oil up to temperature as well. Alright, right now it doesn't look good yet because we're doing reversed sear, so it's only cooked inside. I'm gonna remove the meter. Now it's smoking hot. I'm gonna grill the meat. Okay, so now we're gonna sear about a minute on each side. The meat is already coming up to the temperature that we like. We just want to sear to have a good sear. Now look at that grill mark without having to go outside. Okay, now we're gonna flip the cabbage. I like to grill the cabbage just a little bit so it gets softened because I don't like to eat raw cabbage, but I still want to leave a really good crunch on the cabbage, almost like a salad texture. Oh, I'm so hungry. Sometimes I press down like this just to get the mark. Now I'm gonna stand up the wedge to get some charring on the side as well. So now I'm gonna take the temperature of our pork chop to make sure that it's reached the internal temperature that we want. Okay, that's good. Ooh. Okay, perfect. We can remove it. Now I'm gonna turn off the heat. And it's ready. Now put this out. Ooh. Okay. And the wedge. Wow, look at that. Okay. Now the salad that we made earlier. This little salad adds so much freshness onto this dish. And this dressing goes so well with the pork chop as well. Let's dress it up. I love mint and cucumber. It's like the perfect combo for spring and summer. Wow, look at this, guys. Is it gorgeous? Now it's your turn to make it at home.
Okay guys, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and come back next week for our weekly updates. See you then!